Welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. So let's talk about Raw. I'm going to do the whole show now. Raw wasn't terrible, but nothing happened. Like there's nothing worth singling out and talking about. Just nothing happened. Just 3 hours of nothing happened. But they broke a record because they went 2 hours, 58 minutes without a disqualification. At the last minute, they had a fucking disqualification. They almost went one whole show without a DQ, and they haven't been able to do that yet. Usually the disqualifications come in early. First match, second match, third match, DQs. Now they just save the DQ to the main event. Very weird. But then they also did something else that was very strange. They had distractions in like 3 or 4 matches, which of course means music playing randomly in the middle of the match. Fuck. Let's get to this. Let's get to the show because the matches themselves were not that bad. So Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, and Charlotte Flair lose to Asuka, Dana Brooke, and Mandy Rose. Alexa Bliss interrupted and said she was keeping an eye on someone while cackling. There's a lot of cackling going on in WWE now. Alexa's laughing, Bayley's laughing, Sasha's laughing, Nia's laughing, everybody's laughing. Everybody's got the goddamn Joker. There's laughing gas and random music playing. Oh God. Anyway, this match wasn't the shits. It was a unique looking match at least. I would rather them have 6-man tags than triple threat matches. I'll tell you that much. For some reason, the match, Shayna's leg didn't work, and she ended up eating the pin again by Asuka, hitting her, I think, with like a running knee. It was something real dumb. This led to Charlotte going to see Sonya Deville, and nothing happened. They didn't say anything. But next time you saw Sonya Deville, she was telling Rhea Ripley and Asuka that they had to wrestle each other. And in preparation for the big triple threat match at Backlash or whatever. Asuka was okay with it. Rhea didn't like it, thinks that it was Charlotte setting them up. And Sonya was like, I don't have to explain myself to you. I don't got to explain myself to you. I don't got to tell you nothing. So, of course, she didn't. So then Asuka and Rhea Ripley wrestle in the 6th match on the card. Charlotte, music blared, distracted everybody. She goes sit at ringside. They do the old thing where just because she's sitting at ringside, she's distracting everybody. They just kept looking at her and arguing with her and going back and forth with her. And, of course, Asuka loses. She lost via Riptide. So she won the match and lost the match on the same night. That's how we make stars, man. You pin them, you have them win, and then you have them lose in the same night. I remember those classic Stone Cold Steve Austin, those classic Rock segments where they would win early in the night and then lose in the main event. I mean, it was absolutely tremendous stuff. That I'm pretty sure, Hulk Hogan would lose in the first match and then win in the main event, or win in the first match and lose in the main event. I mean, these things happened all the time. Even though Hulk Hogan literally did do it. WrestleMania 9. I think he lost maybe by disqualification, or he won by disqualification, and then he won the title at the end of the show. But when you get compared to WrestleMania 9, then, which is still the worst WrestleMania of all time. Fight me. Anyway, that happened. Riddle was then hanging out with New Day, and New Day is still pushing this idea about tag teams needing registration forms, which they continue to claim that AJ Styles and Omos do not have. Then Riddle was saying, hey, why don't we throw some bromados? And New Day was like, no, we're going to throw bro nuts at Omos. And then they joked about Riddle. Riddle then joked about Randy getting hit with tomatoes. And New Day was giggling and cackling at him, which, of course, eventually Randy was off screen staring at them. And then Riddle very innocently turned around like, Randy, we were just talking about you getting hit with the tomatoes, bruh. And very innocent. Not even trying to pretend that he wasn't laughing at Randy Orton. Xavier Woods then made an actual funny joke about, if he had known that Randy was going to get hit with those tomatoes, he would have jumped in front of him and defended his honor. Then Riddle said that it was funny that he got hit with tomatoes. And Randy was still being dour and saying that, we know what I think is funny? Dropping people on their head, killing legends, kicking people in the head, setting things on fire. And Riddle just kind of stared at him like, okay. Okay. If that's what you want to do. All right, so then the opponents, Riker and Elias, had tomatoes that they was planning to throw again, because they got hit with tomatoes, so it was imperative that they hit other people with tomatoes. Elias even wrote a song about throwing tomatoes. AJ Styles says no songs, no tomatoes, and then pointed out that he had a goatee, which looked very, very weird. He looked very weird. Anyway, he says he hates tomatoes, and Amos crushed a pre-sliced tomato because he crushed it with one hand. And the tomato was obviously pre-sliced. I don't think we needed to work a tomato for Amos. I don't think. I could crush a tomato. And I'm not a giant that spends a lot of time in the gym. I can crush a tomato. That guy should be able to crush a watermelon or something, I don't think we need to work a tomato. There's some things we just don't need to do. Anyway, 8-man tag in which the baby faces are on the wrong side of the ring. That is one of my pet peeves. I hate when AEW does it. This is the first time I've seen it in WWE in a long time, where the baby faces are on the wrong side of the ring. Anyway, Riddle, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Randy Orton defeated Jackson Ryker, Elias, Amos, and AJ Styles. Amos wanted him a piece of Randy Orton. They did, some stare downs and kind of teased that they was actually going to hook up. New Day was spinning AJ Styles around in circles while they had him by his legs. It looked like some shit you would see on the playground. Like you would see middle schoolers, maybe even elementary school students doing this. What they call the fence post turtle. How did he get in this situation? Each one of them has a leg and they're just spinning them in circles. I was like, God fucking damn, dog. God fucking damn. Anyway, RKO on Elias. Pin. Elias loses. Randy then hits an RKO on Kofi, hits an RKO on Xavier Woods. Earlier in the night, Riddle has been trying to make Randy break, trying to make Randy laugh. Hadn't been able to do it. He almost did it here too when he started saying that Randy can't do stuff like this. And that's why he doesn't have any friends. So I mean, it makes sense that he would give them RKOs because they were laughing at him. They were laughing about him getting hit with tomatoes. But back off of the, something that I read recently, that Randy Orton was on Kurt Angle's TV show. Not TV show, podcast. Kurt Angle didn't have a TV show. Anyway, that when he was on the show, Randy told Kurt Angle that Riddle reminds him a lot of Kurt. And he says that he's going to go far. He's got the wrestling ability. He's also got the comedy. He can do dynamic and do different things. And I said, I pretty much saw that coming. That Riddle is new age Kurt Angle for a lot of the youth. He's a little bit older. I think he's older than Kurt was when Kurt started. But Riddle's been wrestling for a long time. He's been wrestling for like 5 or 6 years, right? So he's been around for a long time. But I'm really enjoying RK Bro. They're now 3-0. They won again. Obviously, we're setting up RK Bro versus AJ Styles and Amos. I don't know how. Do you just do it at Backlash, or do you wait and wait for a bigger stage? I think after Backlash is Money in the Bank. No, Money in the Bank is in June, right? Yeah. So, is that when you do it? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but I don't mind that idea though. I like RK Bro versus AJ Styles and Amos for a tag team title. I like that. It's not bad. So the fourth match on the card, Sheamus versus Umberto Carrillo. So Sheamus cuts a promo in which he claimed Carrillo and Mansoor was trying to take advantage of him. Then he says that he refuses to walk. I refuse to walk in the pot of all the has-beens that came before me. Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to do that? They gave title shots to everyone. Even my man Burke. He's a dafty on the commentary. You gotta earn it. And then he says Umberto wants to earn it. When Sheamus, Umberto then came out. Now, apparently, when Sheamus starts stretching people's faces, it's called the Dublin Smile, which I think is actually pretty cool. I like when it just seemed random thing to name people, but now that he's putting his fingers in people's faces and stretching their faces, might as well give it a name. So now it's called the Dublin Smile. So okay, I'm okay with that. The finish comes with Umberto Carrillo trying to do a sunset powerbomb and instead dropped giant Sheamus on his legs, on Umberto's legs. Umberto crushes him. There's an injury match stoppage. Umberto cannot continue. Therefore, Sheamus wins. So Umberto gets the biggest push of his career and is immediately crushed by Sheamus. I'm thinking he maybe hyperextended his legs. He looked like he couldn't get up once he went down. I hope he's okay, but if he couldn't finish the match, it was pretty bad. It might be like a torn something, ACL or something like that. But it looked from the look of the things, his legs looked a little bit stiff at first, like they were stiff, and then he was trying to crawl, like scoot on his butt, and he just couldn't get up. So he probably did tear some things in his legs. That's just a bad do. Umberto was just getting pushed. Hopefully he's okay. Well wishes up to my boy Umberto. I'm one of the few people that has been a supporter of his since he showed up. So I want him to do well. We got a vignette from Lucha House Party, which is exactly 5 years too late. Lucha House Party, Lince Dorado, of course, speaks perfect English because I believe he's Puerto Rican, but I believe he's from the continental United States. So basically, they cut. It was a generic promo in which Lince Dorado spoke in Spanish, and Grand Metalik spoke in Spanish. Lince Dorado spoke in English, and basically they follow their dreams, they inspire their fans, and they make an impact wherever they go. And they're always lucha lit. And I was like, man, they need a new coat of paint. They need to turn heel. I don't know what else to say. They are so incredibly stale. They're way beyond their expiration date. But I'm not saying get rid of them. I like Lucha House Party. I just hate the name. I like these two guys. I love Grand Metalik. But it's obvious that as baby faces, they aren't going anywhere. They need something. There's things missing. They could be a part of a team with somebody. They could, if you team them up with maybe Angel Garza, and it's like a heel trio, and they wear suits, and one of them has like his hair slicked back, and he's got like a rose in his lapel. You feel what I'm saying? That would be cool, right? That would be cool. Well, even if you don't go that route, they need to turn heel, and they need to drop the name Lucha House Party. It sucks. As long as they're a part of Lucha House Party, either one of them are going anywhere. But they're exactly 5 years too late for this. Last week, I said that they were going to throw Sheldon Benjamin and Cedric Alexander on the 4th match the very next week. I was wrong. They threw it on the 5th match. Cedric Alexander versus Sheldon Benjamin. Cedric went nuts and started yelling at Sheldon that he was better than him and that demands that the commentators tell the world that he's better than Sheldon. He actually countered Sheldon's pay dirt. He was actually dominating this match. And then Sheldon Benjamin bust out the T-bone suplex, the old finish, and pinned Cedric Alexander. I like that finish. I like the finish and I like the story. Cedric lost, but he lost because of his own arrogance. He was hoisted upon his own petard. He could have won the match whenever he got ready, but he was, being full of shit. Now, of course, this feud likely isn't over because Shelton won essentially one fluke match. They'll probably run this back 2 more times. But I'm interested in seeing where this is going because does this mean we're going to get... We got the current Shelton Benjamin theme, which I hate. I wonder if we're going to get Ain't No Stopping Me Now. Or, I want that back. We need that back. Maybe when we get the crowds or whatever, we'll get that back. But I really want to know what's the trajectory for Cedric Alexander. You have to ask that question, man. The Hurt Business is broken up. All of the champions are heels. So if you are a heel right now, you're fucked. Who are you going to wrestle for a title? You can't. Everybody's a heel. So, Sheamus is a heel. The tag team champions are heels. World champion is a heel. You're screwed right now as a heel. You have nobody to fight for a title. That probably needs to change, or they probably need to do something like a tournament or something. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna start the road to Money in the Bank next week, and hopefully Cedric Alexander will be on that short list of guys who can get in that Money in the Bank ladder match. I would really love that for him, and that'd be a hell of an elevation for him. So after that, we got Angel Garza doing a photo shoot. Drew Gulak says that he doesn't respect the business and that he humiliated him last week. To which Garza says, do you want this again? But he says, let's say that there is another time, a next time. I'm going to shove this down your throat. And I was like, ooh. All right. So then we got a promo at some point between The Miz and Adam Pearce and John Morrison, in which we found out that John Morrison has drip etched into the side of his head. Oh boy. Oh God. He keep calling himself the most moist and Johnny Drip. I was like, good Lord. So Damian Priest had the idea to, wrestle John Morrison in another match. Fuck. This is like the 4th rematch on this show. And the winner gets to pick the stipulation for Damian Priest wrestling The Miz, which is, of course, another rematch because they didn't bother to save that one-on-one match. This fucking shit should have been over at WrestleMania. Anyway, The Miz didn't want to do it because he didn't want to put his career in the hands of anybody else, but John Morrison agreed. So then they had the match. The Miz, of course, there was a whole bunch of distractions, but Damian Priest ended up winning. He ended up beating him with Hit the Lights. Then The Miz bailed on John Morrison after he tried to jump Damian Priest from behind. Didn't quite work out. From there, Damian Priest went to Adam Pearce and said he wants a lumberjack match because he wants a match where The Miz cannot run. Now, the lumberjack match idea on its surface is lame. All right, on the surface, it's lame. But I don't mind it. It just means that they're probably going to set up this big spot where Damian Priest jumps over the top rope and lands into a crowd of people, and it's going to be like, yay! And it probably will be the official breakup of John Morrison and The Miz. Because John Morrison is likely going to be one of the lumberjacks. And it makes sense to do a lumberjack match over something like a cage match in this instance because John Morrison is going to interfere. So you can drown him out by having other baby faces out there. In a cage match or something like that, he will be able to interfere and nobody else will be at ringside to help. So while I don't like the idea of the lumberjack match as a blow-off, that's kind of weird, That doesn't feel like a blow-off match to me, but I hope it is because Damian Priest literally needs something else to do. He just cannot be continuously trapped in this thing with The Miz and John Morrison. It just cannot be. Can't continue. So then earlier in the night, we got the Eva Marie vignette was ran back. But this time, later in the show, they played a new one in which Eva Marie says, they're doing a photo shoot and she's saying that she can finally say that she made it and that she's reached levels of fame and fortune that she never thought possible. And she got everything that she ever wanted. And now she wants everyone else to have their dreams achieved too. But they got to be willing to put in the work. And everybody wants to have the perfect picture, but they don't understand it takes 99 bad pictures to get the one good one. And Then she started calling herself the super role model, which I was like, I was with you until the super role model thing. There's too many role models, right? There's too much. There's Bailey and there's Britt Baker. There's too much. Too much of that. I know that Eva Marie is trolling. I know that. The character is pretty much trolling. She's talking about how great she is and how much success she's having. But she wants you to be successful too, but you have to put in the work. Fine. I still think, personally, she should have been with Angel Garza. They started this thing last year where they were doing Angel Garza was trying to hit on some girl, and it went nowhere. The special rose. They were trying to, he's got this special rose for you. He was talking to the camera all the time. And now both him and Eva Marie are doing photo shoots in their vignettes or in their promo segments. Why aren't they just together? Just put them together and let Eva Marie talk for him. His English is fine though, by the way. But and he carries himself really well. But just put him with Eva Marie. Why not? I know, you can say, well, everybody's going to say it's going to be like China and Eddie. So what? Every time you do this shit, it's basically China and Eddie. Just do it, right? They're pretty much playing the same character. Just do it. There was a Karrion Kross promo for NXT, which I was like, oh, we're doing that now. We're doing that now. Okay. All right. So the main event of the show. I waited specifically to talk about this because I hated it so much. It is so frustrating to me. MVP went to Braun Strowman and suggested that, him and Lashley work together to beat up Drew McIntyre. Almost, it's just so generic. It's such a waste of the guys that are involved. Lashley does not look like a star. Braun doesn't. Drew doesn't. MVP delivers everything that they ask him to deliver. He does a very fantastic job. Very fantastic. Tremendous even. But they're not giving him anything. He's going up to there. He is, approaching these guys, being slick, very professional. The chief health officer suggests that you work together with him to make it easy on yourself. If Lashley's got to lose the WWE title, he would rather lose it to you. He's got the game together, but the material is shit. Who cares? Why does Lashley even want to be in this situation? Why is it that Lashley really didn't have anything to say on this show? In any event, after MVP made the suggestion to Braun, the Irishman, whose name I don't remember, was being disrespectful, and then, he told the Irish guy that he has no comment on business negotiations. Then later, Drew McIntyre basically said, I'm going to give him Claymores. That's what I got for him. I'm going to give him the Claymores that I gave him last week. They're going to get him again. Not too worried about them teaming up. And then they have the match in which they go back and forth, McIntyre and Lashley, 50-50. And then as soon as McIntyre is about to win, here comes Braun, disqualification. Power slam McIntyre. Okay, fine. Lashley then gets up, shakes his hand, and hugs him. To which Braun then power slams him. Then Braun power slams him through the barricade. And Braun just beats up both McIntyre and Lashley. And I said to myself, dog, what the fuck? This is not the way you should be portraying Lashley. You portray Lashley like he's a fanboy. He's shaking hands and hugging Braun. No. All of this is wrong. For starters, it's stupid that we're in this position of Lashley trying to hire his fucking opponents when he had two perfectly fine henchmen. Like, this is stupid. Why couldn't he find some other guys? Where the fuck was T-Bar and Mace? Like, what is going on here? This show has no direction. They have a lot of talent. They even have storylines lined up. but they just do not know what to do with these people. 3 hours goes by, nothing happens on the show. Nothing happened. If you didn't watch Raw this week, guess what? You didn't miss anything. Nothing happened. Except Jinder Mahal came back and he ended up beating up on Jeff Hardy, which I completely forgot about. It's on the notes somewhere around here. Where is it on the notes? Oh, okay. It's at the bottom of the second page. So that's about it. He's got Dilsher, Shanky, and Veer with him from Induced Share. But that's the only other thing that happened on the show. There is no general direction for this show. The champion he's not a closet champion because he's on the show wrestling. But he's not the centerpiece of the show. You know, the contenders aren't really even the centerpiece of the show. The women's championship has pretty much vanished since Rhea Ripley won it. You know, now, not saying that Asuka was everywhere, you know, at the same time, but the women's division is centered around Charlotte, not the champion, who is Rhea Ripley. The tag team division is centered around Randy Orton and Riddle, not the tag team champions. The WWE Championship division is centered around Drew McIntyre, not Lashley, who is the champion. So you have the people who are kind of driving the narrative forward not being the champions, and the champions are not even in control of what's going on. Like, Rhea Ripley is being bullied around by Charlotte. Charlotte's just running to Sonya Deville and getting whatever she wants done. You know, Lashley can't control what's going on in his little pocket of the company. What the fuck? This is not how you make them stars. They're supposed to be the centerpiece. At least AEW does that part right. At least the champions are the centerpieces of their fucking division. The divisions may be trash, but at least the champions are the centerpiece. At least we have a guiding sail of where we're going, what we're doing. On Raw, we have no fucking idea what we're doing. You know, like you have the Bray Wyatt storyline has essentially been dropped because Alexa Bliss is doing something else with all the other women now. Now, apparently she's going to be fighting either Mandy Rose or Dana Brooke. Or Asuka, who knows? But I don't have a problem with that. But what happened to Bray Wyatt? He's been gone for a month. Did he die? Like, we don't even get an update. Where the fuck is Ricochet? Where's Mustafa Ali? Why is people like, I get that you, again, cycling talent in and out. Okay, fine. We bring in Carrillo. We bring in Garza. We're doing something with Gulak. We're doing something with Lucha House Party. Can't complain. But where is all these other guys that we keep having these fucking rematches every week? Where, you know, and I'm not even... It's just strange. Why are we stuck on these fucking tomatoes? That's another thing I'm tripping on. This is 3 fucking weeks of tomatoes. And they don't have a pay-per-view match. And they've been throwing tomatoes at each other. I don't know, man. This is weird. This is weird. This is nothing. This has been a black hole month. This whole month of April, since WrestleMania, for Raw, has done nothing. There has been zero progress. If you have not watched WWE Raw since WrestleMania, you ain't missed nothing. You ain't missed nothing. There has not been a single title match. I think there probably was a single title match with probably the tag team belts. The U.S. title has not been defended. The WWE title was not defended. The women's title was not defended. The champions have barely been on the fucking show. You know, it's just nothing. It's embarrassing. Now, the worst thing you can be is boring. That's the worst thing you can be. You can be bad, but by God, being boring. And Raw is just nothing. They put zero effort into this show. Zero. And I don't know what else to say, man. Let me know what you guys think. We'll do predictions on the weekend. Thank you guys for your time. Send cash via the Cash App. Send cash via Subscribe Star. Like, share, subscribe. You know how YouTube works. help the channel grow any way that you possibly can. Any and all ways would be appreciated, even if it's just a comment. And thank you guys, and I'll talk to you guys later.